old faces, new places, but he's a new face in the league. The video started with Caleb Williams going from USC to the Chicago Bears. Yesterday, he had this to say about the new look in Bears offense and him at the lead of it.
We're going to be explosive, and that doesn't mean that explosives are drop back 50-yard bombs. Those percentages for, as the higher you get is going to be a lot tougher, and so there's going to be a few of those. But explosive-wise, whether it's screen game, run game, quick game, getting the ball in our guys' hands and letting them work.
Guys, Caleb Williams is the most exposed young player right now. The coverage of him is wall-to-wall at this point. Peter, if you compile all of your early impressions of this young man, what do you make of the Bears quarterback?
Well, look, last night was the first Hard Knock, so we got an extended view of Caleb. And I came on the show yesterday, live from Giants camp, and I provided this commentary on what I wanted to see from Caleb Williams on Hard Knocks. What it was me saying, you know what? I want to see how he does on the rookie show. If he comes onto the rookie show and he says, I'm too cool for this, I'm going to do a rap lyric and I'm going to try to do it right, or I'm going to sing a very basic song or do my fight song, and I'm going to take it very self-seriously, then I'm going to be like, I might be out on this guy. Instead, he sang John Legend's Ordinary People, was terrible, had the worst high-pitched voice, and was completely clowned for it, and the veterans were throwing it, and he was smiling and loving it. I like humility. And I feel like just a little bit we're seeing some humility. Now, there's confidence there, but I love seeing him lean into the humility part of it and be a butt of the joke, which he was yesterday on Hard Knocks. And I think that's a good barometer for how he's perceived by his teammates, that he's just one of the guys. Because also, I'll say this, on Hard Knocks last night, he's hanging with Tyson Bagent, and he's hanging with Austin Reed, and he's hanging with Brett Ripien, and it doesn't look like he's better than them. He doesn't look like he's keeping them from an arm's length. It seems like he's one of the guys, and I think that is so important when you're the first overall pick and you're the most hyped rookie in the NFL, maybe since Andrew Luck.
Yeah, I mean, listen, you're not from the Midwest. You come in and everybody knows that you made a bunch of money last year through NILs. The first thing you have to do is go in front of the team and say, my signing bonus is $25.5 million. That's tough. That's tough to set yourself apart. You've been in commercials. You're one of the first true celebrity quarterbacks to come out of college in terms of money and endorsements and things like that. And yet, you listen to him and you may hate the Bears, you may be a Packers fan, a Vikings fan. He doesn't come off unlikable. He comes off pretty confident, pretty relaxed. And there's this time of year in this day and age, when you're in camp and getting as many reps as he does, people are looking for that phone video of ooh, a pick six that he threw. Look at this terrible throw. All the memes are Caleb Williams, they are already off to a great start, and he'll show some, embarrassing incompletion. I haven't seen much of that. And I think a lot of that is just how many players are around him. He has so many good players and so many experienced players that just throw it in the vicinity of number 2, DJ Moore, and he'll make you look good. Calm, relaxed, no weird soundbite yet, no terrible cell phone video yet. Just looks cool and looks composed, and there's a long way till the opener. Again, I'm going to say this a lot in this month. A home game at Soldier Field against the Tennessee Titans. It was almost like the Bears could pick their schedule. What's a soft rollout? Can you give us a home game against a team with also a young quarterback, maybe a new coach? Don't let us open against the Ravens, okay? It couldn't be a better opener. Home against the Titans week 1. We'll see. There's a long time from then, but I like what I see. I can't come up with anything not to like. Akbar, there's always something that people don't like in this day and age. Do you see anything that yeah, but he does this or he's douchey? I don't see it.
I was watching it all, man. I was taking it in.
Yeah.
I wanted to see kind of you get a real good feel, especially in the locker room environment and camp environment. You get a real good feel about how guys are, and everything about him made me like him. I didn't know, and I still don't know, him from anything else. So this is my first time really getting to see his interactions with his other teammates. But it made me think yo, this dude's got the juice. And you can see the setup. Everything around it is set up for Caleb Williams to be able to go out there and just shine and do his thing. And so for that, I'm for him. The one thing I don't like. Oh boy. I know, I'm about to get negative.
Okay.
I love the fact that Nick Saban was there, but I don't like the expectations that are being set for Caleb Williams. And he can't control that. Okay. I can't control that. No one else can. But this just seems like a recipe for disaster. they had me all up in my feelings. They had the Chicago Bulls thing playing. Then they get the dude on the mic. Kyle, you probably know his name. I don't know his name, but it sounds super authentic.
I want to say?
I was sitting there like, and now, and I was like, oh my goodness. I was like in there, and I'm going, if he does not live up to this expectation, he's done. Right? Because there's just so much of the buildup. But I love what Nick Saban said when he was talking about, living up to the expectation. And sometimes what gets lost in that is the development. He's still a young quarterback. Yes, he's got all the intangibles, all the skill sets, but he still has to learn and get developed. So we just got to be careful that the expectation doesn't ruin this young kid. You know what I mean? Like, that's the part that was like, oh, like Nick Saban was preaching over there. Like, they should have put some church music behind him.
I actually think that worry and stress that you have about him implies just how likable he's been. Because at this point, you're not really rooting for him to stumble. Like, everyone, it goes back to the combine. Peter, if you remember, and you can speak to this as well, it was like that's where people really started to look for, like, well, look at him. He's not showing up. He's not engaging in as many meetings as we thought. He's not submitting his medicals. And then when you hear the justification, it's like, well, why would he if he knows he's just going to go to Chicago? Why would he expose himself that way to 31 other teams if he knows he's just going to go to Chicago? And now the things that Peter and everyone else has said about Chicago, when they met with him, it was always like, let's go over the playbook because you're our guy. Now you're like, oh, that makes sense. And he wouldn't disclose his medicals. Like, everything he's done, people are looking for the bait, and he hasn't given it to them. That answer to Stacey Dales was, I thought, awesome. He's like, we're going to be explosive. Now, let me tell you why you shouldn't misinterpret that. Like, he has the answer to any time anyone is going to want to backfire on him. But to your point, Akbar, you being stressed about him tripping is just, I think, is proof as to why he is so likable.
Well, and also, too, because I realize when the expectation is high, that, people are coming after you. And that's what I don't want people coming after him. So, and it's just like when I look at that, I'm like, one mess up. Like Kyle just said something like, well, we'll see how many, how this develops in the other episodes. And in the other episodes, he says one bad thing and people are ready to probably make a pivot. You know what I mean? They're looking for something to take on. So we'll see.
I also think in that market, it's really interesting. So it's the first time the Bears have done Hard Knocks, obviously. And it's also the first time the Bears have had a #1 overall pick at quarterback in our generation that we've been watching. But, like, they traded up to #2 to get Trubisky. Didn't work out. They traded up number 11 to get Justin Fields. I think we're all fans of Justin Fields, but it didn't work out. So there's this added pressure of it being on the Bears. It's not like he's C.J. Stroud or Bryce Young going to the Texans or the Panthers, which have had success, have been up, have been down.
And the Trubisky one they could have had Mahomes,
there's a lot of. And like as we're watching Jaden Daniels footage and as we're watching Drake May footage, like, you don't want to miss on this one. And the fact that it was a slam dunk and it was like they're not meeting with anyone else, it's going to be Caleb Williams from the start, like, there is an added level of expectation. There is added pressure, and it's the pressure out of 10 is 11 right now on Caleb Williams.
I'm trying as hard as I can to have a Caleb Williams conversation, and I really am tired of saying the name Justin Fields, and I know why you do it, Peter, and most people do it. I'm kind of going cold turkey. It's like it's pathetic and it's sad to keep looking back that people have nothing to do with him. And Trubisky, I mean, Caleb was, I think, in junior high when they drafted Trubisky, and you come in there and then none of the players were there, none of the coaches were there. The hype is fine. Bring the hype. I disagree. Far be it from me to disagree with Nick Saban. Like, this is 2024. Every #1 overall pick who's a quarterback, who especially goes to a big market, the hype's never going to be low. The expectation's never going to be low.
Like year 3, he'll be the guy. Like,
I don't know about that.
My body was like, I was like, what?
Yes. It's like, it's not
you, Matt, but you ain't going to be coaching if it takes year 3.
That's what no, he'll be gone. And, like, we just saw C.J. Stroud, like, light it up.
That's true.
It's different. You don't sit down for 3 years and then warm up. Like, week 1, Titans. Week 2, primetime against the Texans. The hype is real. Hype's not going away. The media's changed. The industry's changed. Embrace it. The guy looks like he's very calm. He's played at Oklahoma. He's played at USC. Like, he's been there. He's ready. So the hype isn't going to be just put away in a sock drawer somewhere. It's there. Can you play through it? I don't know if he can. I don't know. You don't know. I don't know if he knows. We'll find out.